Let's start texturing the base of the tower. We first select the element we are interested in and then click on the Material Properties icon and click on the New button. At this point, we see two nodes appear. The principled BSDF node is connected to the material output, specifically to surface. We can first rename the material with the name external walls to differentiate this material from the other we are going to create. Having done that, we have several options for action, and the simplest one is the node wrangler, which we find in the lower right corner. To be visible, it must be activated from Preferences. A useful shortcut is the one that, by clicking on Principled, allows us to open the folder from which to select material directly from the folder on our computer. We have to click the key combination Shift Ctrl T. Here we can see the list of materials that have been downloaded from the web that can be useful for us to complete the textures of our model. To select textures, we can click on the entire folder or manually select all the files. Accepting the inclusion of files creates a node architecture that we can analyze more specifically. Each node has its output color that can be connected to the base color, the roughness that can be linked to the relative roughness of the other node, and so on. The principal node is a kind of initial panel to which new connected nodes with related merged images can be added to give the complete texture. For normal, we have an intermediate node, namely the normal map, which is a map that handles the parameters of normal. Blender facilitates this linking through the colors of the outputs, which, being the same in the case of compatibility, allow us to understand what is to be linked to what. Then we have displacement, which instead is connected to another intermediate node called precisely displacement, which in turn is connected with the displacement of the material output. All of this grouped together goes to create an intermediate node that connects to mapping, a tool that handles on the various axes the texture stretch. This is very useful in the case of a very complex object with various irregularities. Mapping is connected to the UV map that we can set up and see at the top of the screen within the UV editor. Here, we can open the texture and see how to arrange it smoothly on the model. The alternative to using the node wrangler is to enter each node manually, which we see at the bottom of the screen. For example, if we deactivate them momentarily by disconnecting them, we can see that the node insertion can be done with the Shift-A shortcut. From here we can choose which of several nodes to insert and connect, inserting a new material or texture by opening it from a directory on the computer. All the other nodes to be connected can be entered alongside in a manual manner. For convenience, we use the node wrangler so we can go back to get the situation we were seeing before. In order to view every texture we enter, we have to switch from solid to material mode, and this can be done either by clicking on the icon in the upper right corner or through the Z shortcut. As we can see, the texture is not well placed along the model, because it should be as in the image we see in our folder. So, if we have this situation, it is because this part of the model was created through an extrusion and therefore stretched the faces. It is up to us then to properly set the texture adhesion to the model.